Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me, and hope you're having a good night or day wherever you are. So, the story I'm going to read from actually tonight, I'm going to give you a treat. Two short excerpts from two of my works. The first one will be for my Locus nominated novella, Bishop's Evening, which you can find on Clarkesworld. Old as she was, the Kiskadee had done 3 full delivery runs without a single safety incident. So naturally, the crew relaxed after a 4th successful delivery and launch, and 8 cycles after we started their starship around Tobago to head back to the roost and their next job, their luck ran out. Sebastian was in the middle of his daily workout when the shrill bark of the fire alarm brought him to a halt. "Where's that coming from?" he shouted as he hurried to unbuckle himself from the treadmill's harness with sweaty hands. Officially, he was the newest crew member, 2 years into a 3-year contract, and designated as a cargo handler. The alarm meant the other duties as assigned part of his contract was about to kick in. "Ventilation shafts 10 and 11, replied in his ear. Sebastian was shoving his feet into his mag boots when the pilot added, "Origin point, oxygen unit 4. Shit. The schematic in his head confirmed that this was one of the units for the living quarters, and the ventilation shafts fed into both cabins. Plenty of fuel for the fire. "Get into that suit, Bass," Molly said. She sounded calm, but Sebastian knew she was worried. If they couldn't contain the fire by starving it of oxygen, then finding and smothering the source with CO2, they'd have to vent the entire level. 2 minutes, and I'll have eyes on it, he said, ducking through the airlock into the corridor. The hexagon-shaped Kiskadee was mostly its aft hull, with everything else jammed around or in front of it, so he didn't have far to go to the cabins. But that also meant a fire could spread fast, and they'd never see it coming. "Corridor's clear," Reese verified. The nearest suites were between Ollie, his, and Reese's cabins, so he would get a look at the fire as he dressed. When he glanced through the portal into his shared cabin, there was nothing to see but neatly made bunks and storage. He leaped the few feet to Ollie's airlock, peered inside, cursed. Several spherical balls of yellow-orange flame surrounded hearts of indigo blue, floating through the air like misshapen balloons. They lost their shape and spread out into rippling carpets as they encountered more oxygen. One drifted down to touch the protective barrier above the red-tipped lettuces growing in Ollie's small hydroponics garden. The flame died, but the transparent plastic blackened, short zigzag patterns scorching its surface as the invisible fire continued. "I have eyes on it. Vent the habitat, then Ollie's room." He slammed his hand down on the lock, and the door opened. "Sebastian, what are you doing?" Reese asked, his voice sharp. 30 seconds! He ducked under a fist-sized wall of flame and headed for Ollie's rectangular garden. The plastic over another part of the garden grayed to opaqueness as it melted inward. To his right, a globe of fire settled on Ollie's bed and deflated into nothingness as black patterns bloomed into the sheets and restraints. "You don't have 30 seconds, Ollie said. "I've already sealed off and powered down the unit in habitat maintenance. Vent in the cabin now." Sebastian ripped the plastic off the garden, cradled the huge tray made light by low gravity against his chest, and leaped for the doorway. "Do it!" he called out as he twisted in midair, touched down in the corridor, and slammed his elbow against the lock screen. The air clicked over to sealed as he carefully placed the tray on the ground, then wrenched open the double doors of the storage unit. "Sebastian," Reese asked, his tone clipped. "Fine, I'm fine. Getting into the suit, 1 minute to deploying CO2. An hour later, when he emerged from habitat maintenance, he found Ollie had already laid down the foam in her quarters. She took off her helmet as he approached and shook out her braids. "Why?" was all she said, dark eyes narrowed with anger. He stopped. He'd seen her this angry once before, but it was best if he kept his distance so she wouldn't be able to physically pummel him. She'd done that last year, after he turned back on a near-empty oxygen tank to grab a safety line when both her anchors were severed during a space war. "It didn't take me 10 seconds. You have no idea how far that fire had spread. I've seen fire like that before. Once you get the shafts closed and the power is off, you're going to be fine. Opening the door could have fueled it." "Goodness gracious, I am fast enough to avoid great balls of fire," he said with a slight smile at his own bad joke. She advanced on him, poking his chest with her finger. "Not funny, Bass." "Okay, maybe it's a little forced. Just tell me why." He grew serious. "Because you love that damn guy. It's taken you 3 contracts to afford it. You just got those letters for it. I wasn't going to let you lose it. Really? She flung her hands up, her expression incredulous. I knew I could save it, so I did. And anyway, he gave her a grin, hoping it would go a long way to settling her nerves. I didn't want to be stuck eating dehydrated protein bars and sauce packets for 2 weeks. Ollie's teeth bit into her lower lip, and she made a sound of frustration. What am I going to do with you? I'd say take me to bed because your shift's up, but I'm guessing that's a no. Good guess. He made a sympathetic hum in his throat and blew closer. What if I do the reports while you and Reese deal with dispatching facilities? Is this your way of trying to make me overlook your reckless behavior? She said, eyebrows arched. Is it working? But Ollie only huffed and walked away, leaving him to follow. I'll stop there for now, and I'll switch over to my other story. This one is called Tantie Merle and the Farmhand 4200. It's brand new, and you'll be able to read the entirety of it in Uncanny Magazine, most likely from July 1st. It's a change in pace, humorous, and written in the voice of my countryman, Trinidad. So I hope you like it. And this is Tantie Merle and the Farmhand 4200. So here now, this is how it happened. It was years after Malcolm passed through and washed away a lot of wee little island schools and mash up so much of Florida and Texas and them places. And people say they ain't waiting for no next storm like that one. And they pack up their things and went England, Canada, all over. I done all. And my children was living in Germany and Kenya, and my youngest was done in Australia, where hotter than here. So I didn't see no point in going from where I live, my Lincolnberry here, and we house good and strong. My oldest Susan, she sent money for me regularly. And Lincoln like new thing just like me. So he fixed up the house, and he fixed up the house until even that monster storm only caused me some windows and a little mason work on the concrete roof from what I call impact debris. So long story short, I stay in my village with a few families, and the only problem was somehow we get old for the garden and the little animal we keep. Chickens get out if the children that are around, it's trouble to catch them back. Cow wander the street after it get frightened because somebody drone fly too low on the little food. My problem was Ignatius, which is to say, he ain't no real problem. He just a normal goat, white and brown and tall as my head. Wasn't he alone? I keep all that time. I had a small herd I used to get nice milk from. Even tried to make some cheese once. That didn't look so good, but that's a nice story. When they start getting on in years, I make a cook with the neighbors and we curry it down with a little roti on the side with chana, potato and shutine and some beers. Was meals for days. That was village life. Really nice. Everybody helping out everybody. And the children belong to all of it. World change, a lot of the children move on, and the families that still here keep to themselves. So now it's just Ignatius and me, and I let him keep the grass growing in the yard because Lincoln gone, and I can't operate no week after boss. Well, after I fall that one time and break my hip, and they give me a new one in the big hospital in town, I start to get trouble on the days my yard clear of grass to go down the veranda stairs and take the goat out to the empty lot of the tent. Didn't have nobody around the day to help. All the families working and the children either in school or inside doing school online, it could still be building from the store. But Ignatius can't eat if I don't take him. So I was forcing myself to do. Then I trip on the way back a bit and thank God never see me go down because I would have been waiting for help to get back up all now. I had a delivery service for meals and a nice young boy come and clean for me once a week. I couldn't afford no pet services. And I know my children would say, Mom, just cook him or give him away and done. But he was my little company around the yard. So here alone, I sit down with sometimes to talk with him dead at night or the heat of the day. And you always have time for me, listening while he chewing on something, watching me with the funny rectangle I would all it. Well, I have to say, I tell you about that. And that is Ignatius have a problem, and it's the truth. He chew on anything. especially what you don't like. That is why I can't get no pet service, because I tried, and he run them out the yard and keep their shoes for food. Ever since, it's only me, Ignatius, like, Lincoln and all leave him alone after he come home and try to feed him one day at the top of the little rise behind the house. And Ignatius take one look at it, bend over ass and put the man down the hill. After I stopped laughing, because if you ain't dead or seriously injured, I will laugh. He say it was my goat and he wash your hands off him. Because he bad temper, but really, he just know he like, and sometimes that he, but we was always good. And I didn't have the heart to eat him. He was probably too old to taste good anyway. But he keep getting away, and he would tie it up and bring it back. And I didn't know what to do. Point is, I mentioned it to my second daughter, Paul, who live in MG. How hard it was getting to go out in the garden some days, and how things was with Ignatius. And because Paula not judgmental like Susan, she sent me a package and told me to expect the job. Bright and early at Tuesday morning, I hear the roaring outside, and I picture my living room curtains. It's because I have big box on my veranda. And Ignatius done tracing over with him trailing to see what he could chew. So I reach out, pick up the box, and close the door. Then I sit down in my favorite armchair in front of the hologram projector Lincoln by the year before he died, and I read the label. Farmhand 4200, it says. And in small print below, AI-guided nanotechnology solutions to your family needs. And in real fine print, 10-year warranty with money-back guarantee, certain conditions apply. Well, I said to myself, that sounded good. And I touched the corner of the box, where it had a big green patch say, touch me. Box make a little chip, then peel down on all sides like a junior mango, and sitting in the middle was a ball of transparent package tape. Next thing I know, the tape tempt a little at the top, and then I blade up here and slice the tape away, like ball out and jump off the chair. Same time, a silvery thing the size of a cricket ball roll out the middle of the tape and stop right in front. A little face light up in green at the top of it. 2 circles for eyes and a bendy line for a mouth, like that emoji thing I used to text with as a child. Greetings, Oda, the ball say in an English accent like a Van Bossman used to have. No need for alarm. I am your new Farmhand 4200. The little blade that was clicking out beside melted down so it was a sneak ball away. Thank you for your purchase. Kindly remain still while I perform preliminary security and software updates. Next thing I know, the ID band the government used to give me healthcare and send me pension and thing, make a beep. Then it talks soft and sweet like a lady. Blinking, it say, Farmhand 4200 detected. Face make a grin and the ball roll as if excited. Hello, Mrs. Merle Huggins. I am your new farmhand. I am very pleased to meet you and begin our farming adventures together. Please note, your digital ID device has been linked to me and will provide you with updates on my tasks, location, battery life, and other functions. However, as a farmhand 4200, I am fully self-sufficient and require only 10 minutes in daylight per day in order to recharge. I am programmed to handle numerous farming emergencies and I'm enabled for research and adaptation should anything fall outside of the over 200 possible scenarios I have been initiated with. Your daughter Paula has sent you a message, which I shall now play for you. The little face changed to yellow and paused on a smile instead of the wide grin it had before. Hi, Mommy, my daughter voice said, and it made me jump because it was like she was in the room with me. And as I listened, tears come to my eyes because it's years I didn't see she, and she did one daughter with my grandchildren. I hope you like this. You said you needed some help, and Jonas says this is the top of the line AI, but for farmers in the right now. It can help you with the garden and that damn goat. I laugh. Being unboisterous like mine, take the sting out of her words. Anyway, let me know when you get it, and please try it out immediately, and don't just have it sitting in the kitchen like the waffle maker I got you for Christmas. It's chips to myself. But I ain't saying nothing, because I know she can't hear me. But between you and me, what are you going to do with a waffle maker, eh? What the hell is a waffle? Call me once you try it out. I want to know how it's working. Love you, Mommy. Talk to you soon, okay? After that, the smiling face will green again, and the bot say, end of message. Hello again, Mrs. Huggins. Do you have any questions for me? I rack my brains as I sit slowly in the chair. What to call you, sir? Whatever you wish, Mrs. Huggins. Well, first, don't call me that. Everybody called me Tantie Merle. Of course, Tantie Merle. I think a bit more. But if I call you Lincoln, was my husband's name, but he didn't need it no more. He gone more. I used to serve it. The butt face flicker, mouth round with surprise. I would be honored, Tantie Merle. My database shows that I am the first Farmhand 4200 to receive a human name. How much of you it have? I am a new model. 30,000 of me have been sold so far. So what they call the other Farmhand 4200? 29,999 are called Farmhand 4200, he replied cheerily. And the other one? It is called Handy. I think I will stop here for the moment, just to make sure we have enough time for any questions or answers. Thank you for listening, everyone, and I hope that you read the rest of the story at Uncanny Magazine in July.